Once, the five Pandavas go to Varnavat to attend a festival. Duryodhan gets a wax palace built for the Pandavas. This was a death trap. His plan was to burn the palace and make it look like an accident. The wise minister Vidur gets an idea about this evil plan. He sends an expert miner to dig an underground escape passage for the Pandavas. When the miner is busy doing his job, Bhim once goes to meet the miner and the conversation goes something like this. Bhim asks, "Can I help?" Miner replies, "Will you allow me to help you in a mace fight?" Bhim says, "I understand. I am not skilled to do this task." Miner says, "One mistake can ruin all my efforts. Vidur told me that the future of Hastinapur depends on this tunnel. Hence, I have to succeed in my task. Time is short and we have lost so much time in this conversation." Bhim apologizes and quietly leaves the place, leaving the miner to focus on his task. If we assume Bhim as the manager and the miner as the subordinate, this conversation can be a beautiful example of a manager-subordinate relationship. The miner displayed qualities of an ideal subordinate. He is self-driven, hence needs no external motivation. He is deadline-focused and takes pride in his job, hence needs no supervision. He is skilled in his job and connected to the big picture, hence the task can be delegated to him. Bhim displayed qualities of an ideal manager. He was supportive, receptive to feedback, displayed humility. Most importantly, he was professional. Let us understand who is a professional. A professional keeps the task above ego. The miner hinted two things to Bhim. A, you are not skilled, and B, you are wasting my time. Rather than getting upset, Bhim humbly accepted and apologized. Just imagine what could have happened if Bhim's ego had dominated. He could have seen arrogance in the tone of the miner and reprimanded him. This in turn could have demotivated the miner and impacted the task. So the manager can make or break the situation depending on his professionalism. Stephen Covey rightly says, 10% is made up of what happens to you, 90% is decided by how you respond. This is not in our control, while this is fully in our control. Let us go through another example from Mahabharat to understand the 90-10 principle and what happens when the manager gives more importance to his ego rather than the task or team interest. The king of Kashi was planning a swayamvar for his 3 daughters. He tells his minister to send an invitation to the other kingdoms except to Hastinapur. The minister is worried because Kashi cannot afford to antagonize a powerful kingdom like Hastinapur. The conversation between the minister and the king goes something like this. Minister says, "It would be better to invite Hastinapur." King replies, "I don't want to invite them because long back King Shantanu refused to accept the marriage proposal of my sister with his son Devavrat. Now it is my turn to humiliate them." Minister says, "Confrontation with them can be risky for us. We could be in big trouble." King arrogantly says, "I am a Kshatriya. I don't worry about risks. I want my revenge." The minister realizes that the king is in no frame of mind to listen. So the wise minister tells, Why don't we do something by which we get our revenge without the risk of upsetting them? The puzzled king asks, "What do you mean?" The clever minister suggests, "Let us invite them. The girls need not select their king. They cannot object to this, and this way we can have our revenge also." The egoistic king refused to listen to this wonderful suggestion and does not invite Hastinapur. As anticipated by the minister, Bhishma from Hastinapur comes and forcibly takes the three girls for his king Vichitraveer. So the difference between Bhim and Kashi king is like the difference between an ideal manager and an egoistic manager. These are some differences. Receptive, not receptive to feedback and suggestions. Professional, unprofessional. Connected to big picture, self-centered. Humble and supportive, arrogant and non-supportive. Manages conflict, creates conflict. Many of us could be playing the role of a subordinate as well as a manager. It is quite natural that as a subordinate, we expect an ideal manager. Similarly, as a manager, we expect an ideal subordinate. But it is important to check whether we are playing our part. So, reflect on two questions. A. Am I an ideal subordinate? And B. Am I an ideal manager or an egoistic manager?